It's a privilege to save someone's life, and that's exactly what our guest did. We'd like to welcome Julie McLaughlin to the show. She's a North Charleston resident who stepped in to give a complete stranger a new chance at living. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
You know, we've talked on the show a lot about organ donation, blood donation, touched a little bit on stem cell donation, but I don't know that many of us understand the importance of being that donor for someone who could potentially die without you giving that gift of life.
Something most people don't know is people that have blood cancer, they have about a 30% chance of finding someone in their family that's a match. That leaves 70% up to strangers. So it could be anybody. It could be your next door neighbor or someone halfway across the world.
Right.
We don't know who's going to be the right match for these patients, and it's really important for us.
And stem cells is what we're talking about.
Yes.
So you're a stem cell donor. You're also an organ donor.
Yes.
I imagine you've also donated blood in the past.
Yes.
Why do you feel the need, first of all, before we get into your journey becoming a stem cell donor, but what is it about you that makes you want to give in this way?
Yeah, both of my grandparents passed from different cancers. My grandfather from lymphoma, which is a blood cancer, and it's very important for them to get stem cells in order to rebuild their bone marrow after they've had chemotherapy. So they go through several weeks of chemotherapy, and then they need to get healthy blood cells back into their body to help build up their bone marrow.
So you've already gone through the experience. So you know firsthand what it's like to watch a loved one suffer through an illness. And did they have the benefit of someone stepping
No,
up? No,
both of them were too far along in their cancers and weren't able to have donors. But
is that right? Yeah. So how do you go about becoming a stem cell donor? How did you find, or how did you connect with the person who needed your stem cells?
So my story is kind of unique. One of my friends actually donated bone marrow to his brother when he was 17. He had leukemia, and because of that, he was posting on social media about, hey, did you know that you can donate stem cells? There's this great organization, DKMS, and they do stem cell donations. All you have to do is send in a spit swab. And I thought, they don't even need your blood? So no, you just go online to dkms.org and they send you a little kit and you swab your cheek and send it in, and that's it. Then you're on the registry.
You said that 70% it's left up to the rest of us to become those donors. So you saw a posting on social media and you decided, hey, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Did you have any thoughts that you would be tapped to help somebody?
I did. I actually thought that if I was given the option to save someone else's life, I would jump at it in a second, because I know the heartbreak and the heartache that you experience from having a loved one that has cancer, and all you wish that during that whole time is, what can I do to help them? And this is my opportunity to help another family not have to experience that heartache.
Well, I want to hear more about this journey. We do need to take a break. So when we come back after 2 minutes, we're going to talk a little bit more about what the process is like to donate stem cells. I think we're all curious about that. So we'll do that after this. We're back with Julie McLaughlin. She is a stem cell donor, and she's here to spread the word to the rest of us that it is easy to become a stem cell. People worry, okay, if I want to become a stem cell donor, is it going to be like becoming a blood donor? And it sounds like it's I mean, not that donating blood is terribly painful, but it's even easier.
It actually isn't as hard as you'd think. So when you register, you sign up to either be or to just be a stem cell donor. And then you're given, once you're assigned to a patient, they let you know whether that patient needs stem cells or if they need bone marrow. So sometimes if the patient is a little bit further along in their treatment, they might need bone marrow, which can be a little bit more invasive, but the stem cell donation is very simple. It's very similar to actually giving plasma. So anyone that's ever donated plasma, it's almost exactly the same thing. They take the blood out of one arm and run it through an apheresis machine, which spins the blood, takes out the red blood cells and the plasma, and then the rest of the blood goes back in your other arm.
That's
and that's
incredible. So you found out that someone needed stem cells, your stem cells. When you received that call, what went through your mind?
I was elated, actually. I was so excited. It was almost a year ago right now that I got the email originally.
Wow.
And so, funny thing, my brother and I both matched at the same time. And neither of us had any idea that the other one was registered. We had never discussed it.
You're kidding.
No. So he went through the process
Did
first.
he also see the same Facebook post that you were mentioning before and said,
He might have seen that I shared that Facebook page.
are you fraternal twins or are you?
No,
That's
he's just my
amazing.
older brother. And so he actually matched first. He got the notice first, went through the first stage of testing, and he was disqualified. But then as soon as he got disqualified, I got the email saying that I was matched and went forward with my donation.
Oh my goodness, he's gonna have to be really nice to you.
He is my biggest cheerleader. He really is.
Good,
He's
good.
so happy that I was able to donate.
Were you ever able to meet the person that you donated to?
I'm not, no. It was an international donation, so I'm not allowed to meet the person.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so through this organization, DKMS, it is an international organization.
That's right.
So someone living in North Charleston, South Carolina could be donating to somebody halfway across
That's right.
the world. And this is a good message for people to just go ahead and register yourself. And the time that it takes to make the donation, it sounds like it was pretty minimal.
It's absolutely, I think there was maybe 3 or 4 weeks of a few appointments of blood tests and physicals, but other than that, it's not, I mean, that was even maybe 2 hours total. It's not really a very big time commitment. And physically, it's so easy. I mean, I thought that it might be painful or difficult, and it really wasn't. It was similar to giving plasma, so it's not really that big of a thing to do.
And to test to see if you are able to, you said it's as easy as doing a swab.
That's right.
Yeah, so very, very simple process. I realize you don't know who you donated to. Do you know what their prognosis has been? Okay, so once you make the donation,
there's no communication.
There's no communication. Well, I'm sure that they were most grateful for your selfless donation of your stem cells.
Thank you.
Any final messages for our viewers who are still on the fence?
Yeah, absolutely. COVID has put a real strain on these organizations that are looking for donors. They normally recruit on college campuses, and that can be difficult during COVID times. So they're really stressed about getting minorities and people of color in to have to be registered, because that is a huge need that they have.
And speaking of which, depending on certain donations, you have to be more in line racially or ethnically.
Absolutely.
Is it the same way with stem cells, or is
Yes,
it universal?
there are markers, and so people with actually mixed diversity are more likely to match with someone.
Oh, very interesting. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, you know your stuff, Julie. Thank you so much for coming on
Thank
and telling
you.
us, sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much.
We're back after this.